Oh, hey, friends. Good morning from the Pacific Northwest here on this Thursday morning. I know normally we usually meet on Wednesdays, so I'm so grateful that you're here with me on a Thursday. We have some construction going on around my home, and my power was out all day yesterday. So I thankfully found out ahead of time so that I could tell you all, lovely folks, come on Thursday instead of Wednesday. So, welcome. If you're here with me right now, pop in the chat box and let me know how you're doing today, where you coming from. Um, yeah, I want to hear. I want to hear how you're doing, and then I want to get jumping into this page, this blank page. I'm at the very end of this Cosmic Smash book. I've only got 2 pages left. So I've got my little magic stone weighing down to the side because it wants to flop up. Got a really high side and then a really low side. And my perfectionist is like, this doesn't work. But I told her she gets to go eat breakfast while I'm here with you all. She doesn't get to play with us today. Oh, hey, Jen G from Queens, New York, doing well today. Love that. Love that. Okay, I'm going to give a shout out to Jen G real quick like a ninja. My friend Jen G just published her third book called Aerial Ambitions, available on Amazon. Get paid zero money to say this, just because I love her and I'm grateful for her, and she writes rad books. Okay, back to Cosmic Smash booking. I love my people. I want to shout from the rooftops how great they are. I'm always so proud of them. Hey, Roberta. Good morning from Los Angeles. It's hot here. Girl, me too. It's going to be like 92 degrees with humidity today. And this old girl doesn't love humidity or heat. All right. So today we're playing around with the theme of embracing transitions. So it's so interesting. I'm going to write about this in a newsletter coming up in a couple weeks. How it never fails when I claim, because if you've been around these parts with me, you know that I choose a theme every month, and then I play with that theme all month long in my social media, in my podcast, in workshops, in my newsletters. I dive into that theme, and it never fails where I think the universe is like, oh, you'd like to focus on healing? Okay, I got you. So I always feel like I'm stirring the cauldron when I choose a theme. And, I was really feeling embracing transitions. This feels like a very transitional time in my life, both seasonally for many of us, is as well as just life stuff. So hey, Kelly, coming from Yuba City, California, hot there as well, for sure. Hey, Jane from Nevada, so happy that you're here with us, Jane. It's good to see you. When I say good to see you, you know what I mean. Good to see you in the chat box. All right, so I'd love real quick before we jump in, when you hear embracing transitions, what comes to mind for you? Or maybe is there a feeling in your body of like, oh, I don't know about this? Or are you like, yeah, I'm in it? Tell me in the chat box what comes up for you when you hear embracing transitions. I mean, I'm over here like, yeah, it's happening. And it'd be real cool if I made friends with transitioning. So let's do this thing. That's kind of how I feel about it. Let's sip my coffee too. Let's see. Genji, you said going with the flow of the cycles. Yeah. Yeah, very much so. For those of you who attended my Wheel of the Year painting last December, this is a wonderful time to look at your painting and really be with it as we went into this season. And if you have no idea what I'm talking about, don't worry. I'm doing the Wheel of the Year painting retreat again this year, and I'll be sharing that soon. It's really a really potent experience. Let's see. Kelly, you said welcoming change with grace and acceptance. Oh, that's beautiful. Jane, you said change, expansion, but a little scary for sure. Change can be a disruption, right? Hey, Jessica, welcome. You said feeling like more hard work coming. Oh, girl. Yeah, I mean, transition can most definitely bring new routines, new schedules. Like it's a shift. Roberta, you said it feels scary and stretchy because transitions is one of my kryptonite. You know, you were the first person I thought of when I picked this theme. All right, so let's jump in. What we're going to play with today, I've got my Cosmic Smash book. You do not have a Cosmic Smash book? That's okay, friends. It's an art journal, right? So you can also just have a sheet of paper. That's always sufficient. Anytime I do any of these intentional creativity workshops, what you have at your home is spot on. You don't need anything fancy to do anything. That I'm walking you through with intentional creativity. Oh, hey, friend. Hey, Esme. It's so great that you're here. So let's see. Where was that, Shiny Object Sage? Art journal, piece of paper, something to write with because we're going to do some journal prompts. I've also got my watercolors. I've got some glue sticks nearby because I got some magazines. We're going to tear through some magazines. So if you don't have some of those things, it's okay. I promise whatever you have is great. If you've simply got some coloring goodies, whether that be markers, crayons, watercolors, whatever you got, my only invitation is if you use something like acrylic paints, also have something nearby like a hair dryer. Like I know some artists, some creatives keep hair dryers in their studios to help with the process. We will be collaging, so it's just helpful to help it dry. All right, let's get in it, friends. The first thing that I'd really love to do, because we're all coming from different parts of the world, we've all had different kinds of days. Some of us, are in the evening, afternoon, morning. I would just love to ground in with 3 breaths just to get us really here. So my invitation is to close your eyes if you feel comfortable. The joy here is no one can see you on this YouTube. So close your eyes. You might want to put your hand on your heart or on your belly. And this first breath is the invitation of whatever came before this moment, whatever came before this workshop. Let's let it go. Let's gift ourselves this next 45 minutes or so together, being present. Let's take a breath in and release. And this second breath is being in this space together. Here in Intentional Creativity, we follow the red thread. We each carry our own piece of the red thread. We are not responsible for anyone else's red thread, but we hold on our piece for each other, for ourselves. That's what keeps us in this quantum connection with each other. This next breath is releasing whatever may be getting in the way of being present to this experience. Let's take a breath in and release. And this final breath is for you, my friend. May you be open to listening. May you be open to trying something new. May you be open to the discomfort of shifting, of transitioning, of the stretchiness. May you be open to this experience to receive whatever it is you get to receive today. Let's take a breath in and release. All right. Breathing. It's awesome. Okay, here we go. We're going to start off with some journal prompting. And when I do journal prompts, my invitation is to move a little bit faster than you might normally with journal prompts. I think when we can move at a quicker pace, it allows us to stay out of our head and overthink. We really get to the heart of the matter when we free write in that way. So I'm going to drop the first journal prompt in the chat box, and then I'm going to read it out loud. What transition are you currently experiencing? And I'm sure you're experiencing multiple transitions also. That's a thing. So it's your choice today. Do you want to focus on one transition piece, or do you want to focus on the umbrella of just being in transition opposed to focusing on one experience? It's your choice. So the question is, what transition are you currently experiencing? Is it external, like a move, a job, the seasonal change, or is it internal, emotional, spiritual, mindset shift? We're going to spend about 2 minutes here. So let's free write for 2 minutes with this journal prompt. My invitation is always journaling from left to right when we're doing this intentional creativity experience, going over the center, not staying from top to bottom, but moving left to right. All right, here we go. Inviting you to finish up wherever you're at. I'm going to pop the next, we're going to have 3 prompts. So this is our second prompt. What are your feelings about this transition? What is exciting, challenging, unknown? We'll spend another 2 minutes here. Okay, finish up wherever you're at. I'm going to drop that final journal prompt in. What do you hope this transition will bring into your life. All right, start finishing up wherever you're at. And I'd love for you to just kind of take a peek and underline or highlight any key emotion words that stand out to you. Anything that pops out, like for me, comfort zone. Ooh, my marker just popped out. Comfort zone, trust, growth, anxiety, what are some of the words standing out to you? If you want to share them in the chat box, that would be great. No peer pressure, but sharing's cool. All right. When you feel complete with that, we're going to move to the next step. So now we're going to move from words to color. So thinking about what came up for you when writing about this current transition or transitions that you're experiencing, how does this feel like in terms of color? Does it feel bright, bold, dark? Is it a mix of colors? So using whatever coloring goodies you have on hand, markers, pencils, pens, paints, let's express some of that through color. There's no wrong or right way to do this. We're just simply letting the color move on the paper that express some of these emotions that are coming up for us. Jen, you said scary, action, accomplishment, pride, creativity. I love that. Nancy, look at that, the both and here, the rage and the love. Kelly, internal movement, vibrational energy, release, fulfilled, beautiful. So what does that now look like in color? And I'm going to look at some of the words that I highlighted. Allow that to be your grounding tool if you need one to get back into this. So when I'm thinking about anxiety, I'm thinking red comes up for me. And again, I'm just moving color. I don't have an agenda. I'm not saying I'm making shapes. I'm not making art. I'm moving color. That's in alignment with these energies that are coming up. And I'm thinking about where in my body I feel these things. Like I can feel the anxiety in my chest. Yeah, Nancy, the root chakra. And just allow myself to feel it. And it's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable, but I'm allowing myself, because I know this is a safe place. It's a creative space, a loving space, a grounded space where I get to feel this. And just feeling the discomfort that the anxiety feels like. And then I'm going to do that until it feels enough. Like, okay, I've explored that enough in this moment, and I'm going to move on. I'm going to move on to growth. And growth feels big and green. And when you're in it, you can even feel your hands. Your hands feel different. Like the movement feels lighter for me to focus on the growth versus the anxiety. I can even make little marks. Comfort zone. Little bubbles of comfort. What are some of the colors coming up for y'all? Purple. Bright pink, dark blue, teal. Love it. Look at all the space my comfort zone wants to take up. Oh. Maybe you want to focus more on the mark making, the marks that come out when you think about these things, the way this transition feels for you. It's interesting how each feeling brought out a different flow of the movement of the color and where I feel it. And notice, do you feel a shift in your body? As I keep moving color, I do start to feel that tightness in my chest soften. And I'm curious if you can feel anything shifting in your body as you move the color. I find myself wanting to breathe out. When you feel complete, you can just stop. Don't have to fill the page. Don't have to look a certain way. And if you want to stay here in this space of color for a few more moments, please feel free. I'm going to allow my watercolor. I did go really, really light with the water so that it will dry swifter. And I'm going to go ahead and move to collage. So I'm just going to go through some materials that I have, some collage materials, through some magazines, and just spend the next 10 minutes. I'm inviting us to spend the next 10 minutes being in this step of, looking for images or colors words, textures that speak to how you're feeling about this transition. Like, what represents the uncertainty? What represents the messiness? What represents the excitement, the love, the joy? So you can tear them out. That's my favorite. You can cut them out and just begin to arrange them on a page that feels good for you. I love your monkey mind is settling down. That's so good. It is so relaxing to do the color movement. I'm always amazed by how much can be released by that simple technique. All right, I'm going to gather some magazines that are right next to me. And again, I'm staying focused on these keywords, the anxiety, the growth, the trusting, the comfort zone. Those are really the keywords that stood out to me. And I'm going to think about them as I look through the magazine and feel like, okay, oh, like right away, I open the page, the first thing I see, making the jump, which feels super right on. Can't make this stuff up. I'm going to tear that out. And for now, I'm just going to place things here. I'm not going to worry about where they go. I'm going to tear out this Yoko Ono quote. It says, "I'm glad that we are sometimes happy and sometimes not. You get your wisdom working by having different emotions." Love that. Okay, I might get more pictures and I might not, but I'm going to start playing with the ones that I have. I'm just seeing what emotions came up. Like, what do I have represented here? All right, I feel like I've got a good enough spot to start gluing some things down. Allowing myself to be messy, because for me, being in transition is incredibly messy. Normalizing that messiness. Really noticing, look at all the pinks that showed up for me. That's wild. That's usually not a color that I work with a lot. Really shows me that tender-heartedness that I'm feeling, and also that self-compassion I get to have for myself. And so as you're working with these colors, as you're working with the shapes and the textures and the images, listen to yourself. What is your inner knowing? What is your intuitive self picking up? I'm picking up that self-compassion, being gentle with myself. And I'm really being mindful to not dictate a lot here and being open. Like just putting the pictures where they want to go, not dictating it because it looks nice or I think it's technically correct. This kind of intentional creativity work is never about that. Look, my perfectionist can't take it. She's removing glue. Okay, stop. Always wanting to jump in here and call the shots. Are y'all keeping your perfectionist at bay? I thought I sent her out to go eat. She snuck back in. I'm just going to add a little glue over here. Get this to lay down. There we go. Yeah, if there's any insights coming up for you right now, I'd love to know if you want to pop in the chat box and share whatever you're comfortable sharing. Maybe it's uncomfortable sharing and you want to share anyway. I am here to witness, friends. This picture for me really represents trust. Like I see this guy who's laying on his back, floating in the water, He has no idea what's behind him, but he seems calm and at ease. And that's sort of what trust feels like, is like surrendering and logically knowing you're safe, but not really knowing you're safe at the same time, if that makes sense. But he's willing to try. He's willing to have the experience anyway without knowing what's going on behind him. And it's much like when we take that leap moving forward, like we don't know what's ahead. None of us knows what the future holds, but we're willing to take that first step in that direction. And I think that's where the magic is. Even when we're scared, we're willing to take that step. We're willing to go for it, making the jump. All right, I'm just going to let my perfectionist do that really quick. She won't go away. And for those of you who this isn't your first session with me, you know my thing is I want to fill up all the spaces. And in the past few pages, there's been a pattern that comes up for me where I'm like, don't fill it in. Like this pattern of mine is to take up all the space, like filling up my schedule, filling up my space constantly in my life. And so like, it's really uncomfortable right now to like leave this open. And the word that's here is anxiety. And I'm like, oh, I just want to cover it up. But then I go, but that right there is a message. Am I trying to mask my anxiety, or am I trying to move through it in a mindful, healthy way? And so that to me is what these processes are all about, is when we can park our judgment, we can park what we think is happening on this page or what we want to happen on these pages, and really just listen and be witness and let the page guide us. It is amazing what will begin to come through for you. Yes, all parts are always welcome. Always. Because we can be excited and also terrified. We can hold both. We can be in grief and also experience joy. We can hold both. We are not one-dimensional beings. And I think that's what's so potent to really have on here, is I have the trusting, I have the growth, and then anxiety is like, don't forget about me. So yeah, I'd love if you want to share in the chat box, like what is coming through for you. My page is like, let me be. She wants to just be. We've got a super sunny day here in Washington State today. So one of the things that I love to do with my pages, even if I don't feel like they might be complete, they might be in progress, I love to put them outside. I'll put my books outside in the sun. I will put my books out under the moon. I'll just move my books about. I give little offerings to my pages. I treat my Cosmic Smash book as if it's like a living being, because it is to me. Every time I do one of these pages, I put my energy into it. I put my heart into it. And so it's something that I continue to tend and nurture. And so inviting you to do that as well with your pages, even if you don't have a book, like you can still put a page outside, like let it really be, and then revisit it. Because it's really cool to do a page and then to walk away from it and then revisit it and just see what's there. Like I always catch something else. I catch a word, I catch a color, I catch something that's there that I didn't see the first time. And I think doing any kind of creative project, whether you're working on a painting, writing a book, there's so much value in stepping away and grounding and giving the work space to be and do its thing and be in process. Super potent, super potent. Y'all are quiet in the chat box. Does that mean you're in it? Are you in it? Let's see. Hey, Diva. You said, mine says hold to the center with an exclamation mark. Okay. I love that. I love that. That is beautiful. Yeah. So think about, what was the inquiry that you came to the page with? Like, was it understanding your, whatever the transition is? Like, what was the intention that you had? I mean, my general intention was how to embrace the transitions that I'm currently experiencing. And so anytime there might be any confusion that comes up for me when reading a page, I always remind myself, what was the page's intention? What was the inquiry? And so remember, our intention on this page is embracing transitions. And so as I look at these colors, as I look at the movement, like I'm looking at all of the movement on my page, like look at all of this flow, like there's this spiral, there's all of these intricate, like flowy patterns and the arrows and the water, and there's even movement coming around her. It's like really paying attention to the flow. So really just looking at like, what are the colors and the images and the words speaking into, and how can that serve you moving forward in embracing whatever your current transition looks like. And, there just seems to be a lot of lightness on my page. And I think I need that to support with the big anxiety feels. And so again, I'm going to sit. I'm gonna let this page sit and be and do its magic. I'm gonna leave it outside today in the big sun, soak up some energy, especially we're still coming off of this new moon, soak up some of the energy and just revisit it. And yeah, I love being in this space with you all. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for being in the work and being willing to open yourself up in this way and being people who like care about what you're creating so much that you're willing to like pour your heart out on a page and spend the time to move color and work with imagery and really being curious about yourself. I think that is such a beautiful thing. And I really honor you for choosing this, choosing to be here. If you're watching the recording, really honor you for choosing to do this work. Because I think it matters. I mean, I know it matters. I always say I think a lot. And I'm like, that's BS. I know it matters. All right, I'm going to peek in the chat box. Let's see. Jen G said, yes, arranging images and seeing what's coming up. Kelly said, feeling my inner child breaking free. Oh, I love that. I love that. You're welcome, my friend. I know we all work at different speeds, and I tend to be a little on the speedy side. Triple fire sage in action. So if you're still working on your page, it's okay. It's not a race. We all finish at different times. And you know what? I might revisit this page and then there's something that is calling over here. Or maybe there's some watercolor. I don't know. I don't dictate, right? I let the page guide me. So I would, though, if you're interested in sharing your page, I'd love for you to come over to my Facebook group, Storytellers and Wild Creatives, and share your page and just say, hey, this is my page from the Embracing Transitions CSB workshop. And yeah, share whatever you want to share. If you just want to share the page, if you want to share any insights that come through, I'm always happy. I always go and witness all of you and, check out your pages. I absolutely love doing these monthly sessions with you. The only bummer is I don't get to see you or your pages real time. That's the only thing, but I do really love doing this on this platform. And so thank you for coming on a Thursday, even though our structure is a Wednesday. How fitting is that though, that like there's all like the theme is transitions and there's so much like change and shifting. And then it was like, oh, the day that I'm going to be leading a embracing transitions workshop, I have to change the day. There's been so much of that already in September, and we're only 5 days in. So I hope this was potent for you. Before we wrap this party up together, I'd really love if you wanted to share in the chat box just a golden nugget takeaway that you're going to leave with. Today. I'm thinking about mine. So what just came through for me is it's okay to let go. It's okay to let go. I don't have to hold on. Oh, and that's very, very relevant for me. It's okay to let go. That's good. I love that, Roberta. I do not need to hesitate. I love that. Kelly, you said be open to the magic of change and to allow my inner child to lead the way. Beautiful. Yeah, asking her what she wants. It's amazing. I think about that, like, would little Sage be super stoked about who I am today? And I even asked myself that this morning, as a matter of fact. And I was like, yeah, she'd be pretty stoked. She'd be like, good job, 46-year-old Sage. Good job. Let's see. Jen G, you said, take the risk. Big things are coming. Yes. Like really that energy to being willing to step into that next level, whatever it looks like, is everything. Like we cannot get the thing we want unless we're willing to take that risk. And so I see you, friend, being willing to take that risk. And we're all taking that leap together, right? That's what we get to remember. Each one of us is making the jump. It just looks different for each of us, but we're all in that energy. And so holding space together, that collective energy that you're not alone in doing the big things, is a really good thing to keep in mind. Because sometimes when we're doing this big work, it can feel lonely. Like, oh my gosh, I'm doing this thing. And it's like, yeah, you are. And so am I. And so is Kelly. And so is Deepa and Jen and Roberta and Nancy. I'm looking at all the names in the chat box. We're all doing this. And so we get to collectively do it together. All right, party people. That went fast. That was like lightning sonic fast. We were in it. We're in the shift, friends. We're embracing transitions, I tell you. So thank you again. I'm always so grateful that you choose to be here, that you take time out of your life to be here in this space with us. And yeah, come share if you feel like it. I'll be sharing a bit later. And that's it. I'm going to see you in October. Be there, be square. I'm such a nerd. Thanks for loving me anyway. I'll be sending out some social media and emails, of course, to let you know when that October date is. But the plan is it's the first Wednesday in October. But before I claim it, I'm just going to look at my calendar and double check. So take good care of yourself, my friends. I'll see you next time.